I run big public seders. Not long ago, I was thinking of dropping a few paragraphs of the Haggadah to save time. After all, Seder guests have a limited attention span. So I asked a few people if I could skip the passage about the 5 rabbis sitting around all night and discussing the Exodus. And they said, "But we love that story. You have to keep it in." I did. What is so appealing about that story? It originates in an old collection of text called the Tosefta. In that version of the story, a number of rabbis are reclining at a Seder, and at the end of the formal Seder meal, they discuss the laws of Pesach all night long. They lose track of time, but when they hear the cock crow, they get up and leave for the study hall. Now let's look at the Seder in the Mishnah, which is the basis of the Seders we run today. In the Mishnah Seder, instead of rabbis discussing the laws of Pesach among themselves at the end of the Seder, the Mishnah stipulates that parents discuss the story of the Exodus with their children at the beginning of the Seder. And the Mishnah provides the text of the 4 questions, the Manashtana, to stimulate conversation at the table. The significance of switching from discussing laws to telling the story of the Exodus is huge. The Seder is now focused on transmitting Jewish values to the next generation. The Exodus is a story with many messages. Good triumphs over evil. The downtrodden will ultimately overcome the powerful. God intervenes in history. God hears the cries of the oppressed. God frees people from slavery, and so we owe God a big thank you. These are the themes the Mishnah tells us we should discuss with our children and grandchildren. So when the compiler of the Haggadah decided to include the story about the 5 rabbis in his anthology, he modified it. He dropped the words discussing the laws all night long and replaced them with telling the story of the Exodus, Misaprim B'Tziat Mitzrayim. It should be easy this year at our Seders to talk about the Exodus long ago and the Exoduses of our own day. The problem of slavery is still very much with us. Like the 5 rabbis, we too can get lost in the discussion of these serious topics until someone asks, "When do we eat?"